What's the best camera to have? I'll tell you the answer. The one you're carrying. Stick around because I'm going to show you 5 incredibly useful tips on how to get the most out of your iPhone's camera. I've enjoyed professional photography for decades. I've owned many different cameras, from film cameras to high-end digital cameras, from medium format to 35mm, and I'm going to tell you that this iPhone rivals all those professional cameras, and in many cases does more than I can do with cameras costing thousands of dollars. So let's get right down to it. All right. Now, when you tap and hold the camera icon, it'll reveal a pop-up menu. A lot of the functions and a lot of the apps on the iPhone are enabled when you tap and hold. So always experiment. As you'll see, these tips will show you many different pop-up menus that are accessible when you tap and hold a certain button or a certain icon. In this case, I tap and hold the camera icon, which reveals a pop-up menu to instantly take me to selfie mode, a record video mode, take portrait selfie. It's just a quick access way to get to your camera without having to get into the camera app itself and sweep over to choose the different modes. Now, this tip is really good for those of us who normally keep their camera in the photo mode, because when you tap the camera icon, you'll notice it's set to what I last left it at, which is in this case, photo. But let's say, for example, you're ready to take a picture and you instantly want to take a video instead. If you tap and hold the photo button, it will start taking an actual video. And in the past, it used to take a burst, multi-sequence burst of still photos. But now if you hold that button down, it'll actually take it right into a video mode and it'll start recording video. And if you want to lock it on the video mode, sweep it to the right and it will now be locked on video. This tip is greatly useful in shooting videos, but it's also good for photos as well. Now, when you go to photos or videos, you'll notice that there's 3 lenses. In this case, 3 lenses are on the iPhone 13, 0.5, a 1x, and a 3x lens. Now, if I tap on any one of those 3 lens icons and hold it, it reveals a zoom, and it lets me seamlessly zoom between 0.5 all the way up to 15. Now, I will caution you that when you go past that 3x, which is a fixed lens, you're not into optical zoom anymore, you're into digital zoom. So it's actually magnifying the image, and you will get artifacts, so the image will not look quite as crystal clear as if you were to use the 0.5, the 1, or the 3x lens. So I always try to stop myself from zooming too far out, even though you can do it. You're not going to be really happy with the results, especially when you blow your image up. So this is a real professional photographer's tip. In the professional photography world, with the advent of automatic focus and automatic exposure cameras, they've given you the ability to lock down an exposure or a focus that's not necessarily the subject matter that you're looking for or not in the center of the frame. Now, when you go to the frame of a photo or a video, if you tap anywhere on that actual image in your display, you'll see a cursor, and that cursor has a little sunscreen next to it with a yellow box around it. And a lot of people don't know that you can tap and hold that and it'll flash, and you'll notice at the top of the screen it says AE/AF lock. That means automatic exposure and automatic focus lock. What's nice about that is now you can move your camera and focus in on anything else. Now, focus, I mean actually target anything else, and your camera exposure and the actual focus will not change. So let's say, for example, I want to expose for the outside and I actually want to shoot outside. If I can tap between these shutters and expose for the outside, if I move, it's going to change my exposure. But if I actually tap and hold, now watch. As I zoom back out, nothing I do will change the focus and the exposure of how I set it, which was for the outdoors. This is really useful for taking pictures when you actually want something that's exposed in the background to be properly exposed, but your foreground may be super dark or maybe super bright. I use this all the time. A little inside trick on that is once that's locked down, you can actually scroll with your finger locked on the screen up and down, and you'll notice I'm changing that exposure level. So I can actually manually drag the exposure down until it's just the way I like it. And you see how nice and exposed that outdoor lighting is, but my shutters inside are super dark. That's because I've actually manually adjusted the exposure downward and accounted for the brighter light outside than inside. Super useful trick. Now the last one is one that drives me nuts. It's the flash control. Now you basically have a couple different modes, auto, off, and on for the flash mode. And a lot of times you can just activate these with the icon on the upper left-hand corner, the lightning bolt. Well, you'll notice here, I've tapped it and it just turns it off. If I tap it again, it'll enable it, which is turning it back on. But the thing is, it's not turning the flash on so it will come on, it's turning the automatic flash on. And quite frankly, that doesn't always do the trick for the pro photographer in me. And that is, when I have the flash come on, I want direct control of when it comes on and when it does not come on. I don't want to leave it to the phone to determine if my environment is too dark, because sometimes I actually want to expose with a darker environment and I don't want that flash to automatically come on. Other times I may want to backlight something or add an extra little bit of flash even though there's good lighting in the room, and that helps with shadows. So if you leave that up to the automatic function, you're always going to be left short when it comes time when you want that flash to be turned on. So here's what I do. If you notice on the upper part of the screen, there's a little carrot icon. And if you tap on that, it reveals a pop-up menu right down next to the shutter. And on the left-hand side, you'll see that lightning bolt again. If you tap on that lightning bolt, now you'll see the flash auto, on, and off. So in this case, I'm going to tap the lightning bolt and it'll reveal the three buttons, flash auto, on, and off. And you'll notice that the flash auto is yellow, which means it's the one that's highlighted. And that's not going to do me any good if I want to take a picture of my hand and my hand is backlit and I want to introduce a little bit of flash. You notice the flash didn't come on. I'll take it again, right? If I want to force that flash to come on, I will tap that icon and turn my flash to on, and guess what's going to happen? Now it forces the flash to come on. And that's only accessible if you tap that carrot icon and you pop that menu up at the bottom of the screen and you tap the flash on button. All right? Cool little trick and really useful. Well, that's it. 5 tips. There are more to come, but these tips will up your game when it comes to taking photography using your iPhone's camera. So practice them and get them into your muscle memory, and I guarantee they will pay off. Now, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and tap that notification bell so you don't miss any future tips videos. Thanks and have a great day.